Welcome to I have no idea what I'm doing, plays Crusader Kings 3. I've messed around with the game a little bit, I've familiarized myself with a lot of the basics, and then a huge patch drops and leaves me totally in the dark. So rather than read the patch notes, I figured let's just jump in and start a playthrough. And one of the things that I haven't done yet is play the game with any kind of objective in mind. And we're going to remedy that right now. I have an idea for a playthrough that I'd really like to try out, and in order to do it, we have to go back to 867, and what we're looking for is a ruler that's an independent chief at the county level with a tribal culture and an unreformed faith. We want to start at the bottom. The idea is we want to pursue one of the game's, I guess, hidden objectives. I know it's not hidden. I think most people know about it at this point. But one of the things you can do in the game is found a witch coven, and that gave me an idea I'd really like to try and pursue as a campaign. So founding a witch coven requires a lot of RNG to go your way. You need to find other witches out there, invite them to your court, get them to educate your family members, hang out with them, interact with them as much as possible in the hopes that they give you the witch secret. Alternately, you could spend some time in the learning lifestyle where there's a chance you might unlock an event that just outright gives you the witch secret. We want to spend a lot of time in diplomacy and learning, and that means that we don't want to get bogged down with a lot of big empire wars. We're going to be mainly concentrating on just discovering witchcraft. Before we get started, I'm going to turn on Iron Man mode, mostly so I don't have to keep track of a lot of saves, and ensure that I'm playing with all the default settings. So we have three objectives. One is to found the witch coven, and then second, we're going to start off with an unreformed faith, and the idea there is that we're going to reform that into an organized religion, and then convert it into one that's accepting of witchcraft, make ourselves the head of that religion, and then consecrate our own bloodline, essentially to create a magical dynasty. And then really the big goal is to turn the world into a mystical place where magic is accepted as normal, and sorcery and witchcraft and wizardry kind of define the rules of the world. And that's a little abstract, so what we're really going to do is just pick the big cultural goal of whatever culture we choose, and we'll make that our win condition. But really, we're making the world a magical place. There are just two options for locations that I wanted to start in, and one of them is down here in Africa, and it's so tempting because there are just all these little independent counties, but there are a lot of shared borders, and there's always going to be somebody that wants your stuff. So starting in Africa might lock us into multiple generations of constant warfare, which won't give us the time to pursue our witchy goals. The other option is starting up here as the Norse, where you have plenty of breathing room. There's only one really big threat to starting off as one of these Norse pagans, and that's Alba, whom I believe is Catholic. He is. As long as we've equaled Alba in strength and made us a less attractive target to them, I think we'll have kind of free reign to conquer what we choose and build a stable base for empire. So let's just look around and choose one of these Norse leaders to lead our dynasty. We're not looking for anything specific, we're just looking for traits that could potentially make a good dynasty head. He is 51 years old without an heir. That's a little risky. Anyone else really jumping out at me? I really like Diligent, but I hate Paranoid. There's another vengeful character who happens to be temperate and arbitrary. He's not the worst choice. He's not great. Diligent, again, great, but Paranoid and 64, no good. Lazy, just don't want to play a lazy character on principle. I do that enough in real life. Chieftain Garther here is gregarious, content, and arrogant. I don't hate this. Gregarious is a bonus to making friends, which is one of the ways that we're going to have to be looking for potential witches. We're going to befriend people pretty often. So starting off gregarious is really good. Content, one way or the other, I don't think matters, but a little bit of stress loss is fine. Arrogant in general is kind of nice because just a bonus to prestige every month is really strong, and there are no real drawbacks. So I think that we go with Chieftain Garther here. He has an heir who is cynical, which is nice, and gregarious, which is also good. Compassionate, I don't care about. Chieftain Garther is shaping up to be a pretty good choice here. So here we are in Iceland, in Chieftain Garther's realm of Austerland. His starting stats are not the greatest. The 0 intrigue is just something we're just going to have to live with. We are very, very vulnerable to schemes. Hopefully no one tries to kill us. We have a passable diplomacy. We have an excellent martial skill, which is surprising. It looks like he spent some time in the gallantry. I am not thrilled with this start. We want to immediately start off with diplomacy because we want to get the befriend perk. Let's see if there are any good wife choices out there. There is. Look at that. Linda Thorgil's daughter is comely, and marrying her will get us some bonus prestige and an alliance with Orkney. I think we take the big obvious choice here. We marry the woman with the positive congenital trait and the alliance and the bonus prestige. I don't think we're going to find a better wife than that. Our council is awful. We have a really good priest. Wow. All right, our council is garbage. So that's good. Vesterland, this is our big enemy, our initial threat. We need to deal with them before we even hit play. We want to get this war started. And we want to do this before she has an opportunity to recruit allies. And while we have this significant amount of prestige, we're going to dump that all into men at arms. And I think we're going to start off with some bowmen, like 2 stacks of bowmen, and then the rest in footmen. And I do not mind burning all of our prestige right away. We're about to get 200 more from our wife. So we just essentially hired 500 troops. One of the things that I am really happy with, starting out as this martial character, is getting this Reaver trait, which gives 100% bonus raid speed. That's going to come in really handy when it comes to building up that gold and prestige that we need in order to throw down buildings and meet objectives. They're all going to be military objectives in the beginning besides the little witch hunt that we're on. I don't think there's anything left for us to do other than hire a court physician, and Katerina will fortunately be absolutely great at that job, so let's appoint her with her 19 learning. And there is a chance that this mastermind philosopher is a witch. She's kind of great. Stats are pretty good. What are the chances that if we make her our concubine, medium chance of having kids? We don't want to have the wrong kids. Whatever. Let's make her a concubine. Now she loves us. Great. There's our alliance with Orkney. That means we've gotten married, and we have enough prestige to up our men at arms a little bit, but I think we're okay. We have 500 men at arms at the start of the game, so we outnumber any other starting independent chief by double. We are going to wait for this army to get within striking distance of our capital before we raise our army. We want them to commit to the attack, and then we want to kind of raise our troops as an ambush. As soon as this line turns white, that means they're committed. There it is. Now we are going to just eat them alive. We outnumber them almost 2 to 1. Are we leading it ourselves? Oh, this is risky. Wow. Wow, it's over? That was it? That was the fastest war, I think, ever. 4 months. The war is 4 months long. We didn't have to do anything. We let them come to us. We beat their army, and they lost. That was amazing. That feels like a really good start to the game. So all we want to do is stabilize this territory a little bit because now it has a low control. We're going to stick our marshal in there. As bad as he is, we're going to stick our marshal in there to try and stabilize Vesterland. And wow, that was so fast. I don't think that Ferriar would have, they haven't had a chance to build an alliance yet. Great. Let's not waste any time. And let's take our next territory. 597 out of 1092. We're barely using the full strength of our troops here. This seems good. I think we're gonna crush this one as well. We've captured a couple of people here. So we got this lustful, paranoid freak. He's a good champion, so we can get him on our team. Yeah, put your war hat on. Let's go. And we have another prisoner here, Valdemar. Valdemar is not really good at anything. He is a kid. I don't know what else to do with him. Yeah, let's recruit him also, and we'll just put him on the battlefield, I guess. Oh, Ragnar. Who's Ragnar here? He's stupid. He's a stupid strategist. Oh, man. I like Ragnar. Okay. We'll, we'll, we'll recruit Ragnar, the stupid strategist, into our court. That makes me really happy that that guy's around. Ragnar is now a member of our court, and he put his little war hat on. We have taken, well, it doesn't matter who we got. We have won the war. Enforce the demands. So be it. 2 territories in our first year as chieftain. We could just keep rolling. We barely lost. That hasn't cost us anything. We can keep rolling and take our next target, which is going to be this territory here, Thrandheimer. But maybe we take a break real quick to just look around and see if there's anyone we can marry our son off to. This is a beautiful, quick woman. I think that's going to be the best option out there. Let's not lose her. And we'll hook our son up with a quick, beautiful woman that will give him some beautiful, smart children. Wow, I can't believe how fast we just conquered those 2 territories. That was really, really satisfying. 857. There we go. 914. All right, looking good. Let's go raiding. 914 troops gives us a decent gold capacity, and we have 2 delicious targets right here. Oh, somebody's already beaten us here. Okay, our wife is pregnant. I don't mind that. We could use a potential replacement for Uni, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with Uni. He's just not ideal. But it would be nice to have a child with a positive inheritable trait. We're almost as strong as Alba, and we have 3 territories, so I'm not super worried about them anymore. You know what, let's just pick this coastline clean while we're over here. The double raid speed is really nice. Oh, they've come to defend themselves. A little late. One of our champions became a berserker. Wild. It would be kind of cool to get the berserker trait ourselves, since we're fighting in all these battles. How risky is that, what we're doing? You know what, I don't think it's that bad. We have a daughter. Our first daughter. There's something that I'd like to do here. Let's take a look at her. She hasn't inherited any of her mother's looks. In order to encourage the game to share the witch secret with us, we're going to be naming all of our children after famous witches, after people that were historically executed for witchcraft. And it's a little superstitious, but I think that's totally appropriate for our playthrough. So our first daughter, we will name after a woman named Lassus Birgitta, who was the first woman executed for witchcraft in Sweden. Now, the historical Lassus died in 1550, having been executed for witchcraft, but our young Lassus here will grow to be strong and wise, because she's a little witch. We'd like our priest to educate her, and then if we can find a witch to bring into our court, then we'll have a witch educate as many of our children as possible. I'm assuming that we are going to have more children. Oh, looks like another fight. I don't mind these early fights. It's a source of piety and prestige. And while we're much stronger than all of these guys, we'll just beat them down. Hopefully become a berserker. That feels good. Feels good to just absolutely stomp on these independent chiefs that we chose not to start as. If only they had better personality traits. Are we running them down again? There is no reason for this. This is purely gratuitous. I almost feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. I kind of have a feeling that if we just went right into another war, we would crush. We can grab one more territory before we have to go home. We'll go down here to Rogaland. I actually really like this guy. Are we going to fight again? I believe we are. Chieftain Garther, you are a beast. This makes me so happy. seeing this result in our very first little raiding expedition. We've earned the result Fire and Blood, which gives us the options of either sacking this territory for 20 years to gain 30 gold and 75 prestige, or not doing that. And we're obviously going to choose the bounteous plunder. Chieftain Garther is terrifying. We are at full loot capacity from this raid. We can call that very successful. That gives us the opportunity to throw a building down immediately. And because Reykjavik is struggling under the guidance of our terrible marshal, we're going to construct gathering halls to increase the control growth and also give us a little bit more prestige gain. I feel like we're going to make it to distinguished really soon. Well, you know what? Our marshal isn't that great, and he wants to leave to go get better. So with our blessing, absolutely go join the Varangian Guard, whatever that means, and go do whatever Varangian Guards do. Bye. And that means we need a new marshal. Here's a great one. An experienced commander with 16 martial and 1 commander trait. Welcome to the team. I didn't catch your name. Guthrother. Welcome to the team, Guthrother. You have excellent traits. He would make a good spy master, but we really need a marshal, and he is a great choice. So welcome to the team, Guthrother. Oh man, I'm really going to struggle with these pronunciations. Please feel free to correct me in the comments. The peasants in the chiefdom of Austerland are in a good mood. The harvest is bountiful. The roads are safe. The village elders are telling nonsensical stories of cows producing honey-laden milk and geese laying golden eggs. I kind of love that that's happening. It sounds magical. Yeah, you guys keep your golden eggs and honey-laden milk. Oh, we have this this woman. We can make a concubine. Let's do that. It's another chance to get a good congenital trait in our bloodline. Let's get our first raid set up here, and then look for witches inside our diplomatic range. First, looking for people with a witch trait. There aren't any. So next, we're going to look for people with a high learning who are guests. Here is a 75-year-old woman. By the time we befriend her, she'll be dead. Here we go. This wandering woman. She's a godless craven. She is a lunatic. Wonderful. She's a novice physician. She's 48. She's going to be our first friend here. 81%. Looks good. Where was that idiot strategist? He's one of our champions, I believe. I'm just curious. I want to pin him. What was his name? Ah, Ragnar. Ragnar, the stupid strategist. I really like this guy. I don't know why. I'm glad that we're giving him a job. He's never going to be commanding an army, but it is nice to know that we have the option of having just an idiot running our armies. Whoa, second time raiding, second Fire and Blood result. Yes, we want bounteous plunder. And we have increased our level of fame to distinguished. Illustrious is the kind of the minimum requirement for doing big interactions in the game, so we're well on our way. Ragnar. We're just gonna keep Ragnar up here so that we can think about him. Uh-oh. We no longer have an alliance with the with Count Thorgil of Orkneyar, because he's no longer a ruler. That means that we can divorce our wife. Because she's no longer so cold. We can divorce our wife because she's no longer bringing us any positive benefit. What's going on here? The forceful knock on the door clears every bit of drowsiness from my mind. Who disturbs a chieftain at this hour? My late night visitor is none other than Uni, our son, who wants to speak with us privately, away from listening ears, and he's discovered something very interesting. He's discovered a secret of Stein's, our steward and champion, and he's willing to share it with me if I let him off the hook. Let him off the... Oh, right, we have our house head hook on him. Well, here's the problem, Uni. You know something potentially damaging to us, and you're trying to hold it over our head, and I don't appreciate that. I love that there's a chance that he becomes wounded. Yeah, let's just force him to tell us. We've learned of Chieftain Stein's deviant secret. Well, we don't care about that, and we've wounded our son in the process. You know what? Serves you right. Don't keep secrets from your liege. Oh, we captured Baron Uni's daughter here. You can have her back. We don't need her. These raids go so quickly. We're already at close to our capacity, so let's drop off our loot and then consider who our next ally is going to be. 150 gold, 461 prestige. I think we put another building down here in our capital. What are we looking for? Oh, you know what we should be doing is having our terrible steward increase development in our capital. All right, our first friendship scheme has not gone well, unfortunately. We can put another building down. We can declare war. And this is the territory. Oh, they're at war with someone else right now. They're attacking Jarl Dag. They're going to win that war handily. All right, we need an alliance. Let's divorce our wife. That's kind of interesting. Has our son had his child yet? He has. He's had a little daughter. Welcome to the family, Asa. We have our child, Lassus, whom may be able to marry for an alliance. We can get an alliance with Jorvik. I feel like Jorvik is really strong. Oh, they are. Jorvik may make a fantastic ally for us. Will they accept a matrilineal marriage? They will not. So we are going to marry our daughter Lassus out of the family. Unfortunately, it's a shame to see you go, but you are bringing us a solid alliance with Jarl Halfdan Whiteshirt, and that now frees us up to marry for another congenital trait. This intelligent woman will potentially make a great wife. She is not zealous, so she probably will convert to our religion. She's an insightful thinker. She spent some time in the learning lifestyle. She may be a witch, but I doubt it. Gilfled? How do you pronounce this? Gilfled? Gilfled. I'll take it. So apparently our son is hiding something from us, which isn't the first time that he's decided to withhold from us. Last time we gave him a little bit of a beating for it. I think he's learned his lesson. We will respect his privacy, and maybe he'll forgive us for that little beating we gave him. Because we respected his privacy, we got this result, a gesture of appreciation, and our son Uni has given us 50 gold. Wonderful. Thank you, Uni. All right, now that we have a solid alliance, we can take a stab at conquering this territory that's going to be very important to us, Thrandheimer. They are vastly outnumbered by the combined forces of ourselves and Jorvik. We may not actually call Jorvik to the fight, but knowing that we have the option makes me a lot more comfortable with declaring this war. We do have a very strong military at the moment. I'm not significantly worried. Yep, we've got this. Go get him. We have absolutely crushed them in the first battle of this war. Having such an incredible commander in charge of an army with that many knights and a reasonable amount of men-at-arms really lets us just do whatever we want. Taking this territory will put us at our domain limit, and we can kind of chill on the conquest a little bit. We can found our title, become a Jarl, have some children, and in the meantime, we're going to be looking for more witches. Still no witches in our diplomatic range, but I feel like as soon as we take this territory, our diplomatic range will expand significantly, and we may be able to entice a witch into our court. I love that he just does everything himself. Normally, I'm terrified of putting my leader in charge of armies because it's, you just die. But he's so good at it. Having conquered Thrandheimer, we've secured a really important goal, which is our first holy site. We want to name it after a magical place, someplace we know to be suffused with sorcery and witchcraft and magic and wonder and all of those things. Narnia. Let's name this chiefdom Narnia, and we'll make the adjective magical. Halfdan Whiteshirt has died, but we have an alliance with his young son here, this baby. We may want to break that betrothal. Will you please stop peasant revolt? Where? No. We will wipe them off the map. Normally I'm okay with the peasant revolt, just granting them the tax lien, but we have such an overwhelming force compared to them. I don't know what they were thinking. We've unlocked the next perk in our diplomacy lifestyle. We're going to pick up confidence. We could pick up groom to rule. That'll make our current children and future children a little bit better. I don't hate that. Let's grab that. And that's helped Lassus with her martial. Uni has increased his learning by 3. That's actually kind of nice. We need to look for people to befriend. Let's just finish this peasant revolt up. Great job. War is over. You tried. We've captured the leader of the peasant revolt, Philip here, and he is an incredible marshal and a really good champion with some really good traits and a positive inheritable trait. So, Philip, I admire your spirit. I admire your warrior spirit. You can now join our court. He doesn't like us yet, but he will. We'll give him time. Right now, we will make him our champion, and we'll let him prove himself on the battlefield. Now that we've increased our diplomatic range a little bit, we'll see if there are any witches that we can communicate with. There still aren't any witches inside our diplomatic range. So let's do the next best thing and find somebody that has the potential of becoming a witch. We need someone unemployed. Here we go. A wandering, fearless paragon, Aletta. She is sterile, but she may still be a witch. Let's at least try to befriend someone. So far, we haven't succeeded in any of our friendships games. Hopefully this one will be different. So having conquered the chiefdom of Narnia, we're now at our domain limit. And the only thing left for us to do is raid or go on a pilgrimage. And honestly, I want to do both. Now that we've secured Nidaros as our first holy site, we want to go on a pilgrimage. The reason for this is there's a chance that during a pilgrimage you may encounter a witch and learn the witch secret. It's very unlikely. All right, so let's go visit the temples in Nidaros in Narnia. And we're just going to hang out on this pilgrimage. There's nothing pressing that we need to do at the moment. We're going to let our troops get up to full capacity here. They're almost there. And then as soon as we're back from the pilgrimage, we're going to go out and do what we do best, which is raiding. So we've encountered some other pilgrims that are telling stories about a chieftain in Austerland. So they're talking about us. We don't have any stress at the moment, so we can just choose to gain stress. We could beat them for it, which will cost us a little bit of piety, which unfortunately we need. So the best option here is varied pilgrimage companions, which will actually help us befriend people in other cultures, which may be the correct choice. Let's do that. The next event in our pilgrimage is Love Thy Neighbor, where we can choose to gain sympathy for heathens or disdain for heathens. I think of the two, sympathy for heathens is a better option because it increases our chance of befriending heathens, which is what we want. We have in fact walked the holy path. We have become a pilgrim, which will give us bonus piety for the rest of our life. We are home just in time to take command of this raiding force, and we are going to go back out there and do some more raiding. Wow, our raiding force is bigger than Alba's entire army. I think what we're going to do is raid Alba. We really do want to take every opportunity we can to hurt their Catholic regime. We have some prisoners hanging out. I don't know what to do with them. We can't ransom them. We can't recruit them. They're all too young. No one wants to pay for them. We just have some children in our prison, which I guess is fine. We'll just leave them there. I don't even know where we got them. What is happening? Emerging lunacy. Lately, I've had a hard time thinking straight. My thoughts are scattered like clouds upon a summer sky. The birds outside my window have started singing another tune. Other people seem to willfully talk in riddles, and no one acknowledges that cilantro is a truly horrid spice. Oh, there's a chance that we are becoming a lunatic. This is unexpected. We have gained the trait lunatic. This last week I've been spiraling like a leaf in a tornado, going round and round. What is reality? What is real? I can no longer answer this. All I know is that the woman in the clouds understands me, but the shadows are reaching further every day. And Chieftain Garther is now a lunatic. Wonderful. Well, we're a lunatic now. I guess that's fine. I mean, I guess it is fitting that we have become a lunatic in our quest to unlock the secrets of witchcraft. It's just one of the things that could happen, I suppose. Meanwhile, this lunatic will go on raiding. Oh, do they want to fight? Yeah, let's fight. Yeah, never challenge a lunatic. I kind of love that he's a lunatic, I'll be honest. Oh, we failed at yet another friendship scheme. Things are not going well for us, but you know what we can do is just try and befriend a lunatic. First, let's look for a witch. There's still no witches in our diplomatic range, so instead, let's befriend some lunatics. Holmgar is a lunatic here. He'll be our friend. At this point, we have no friends, so oh man, he will not be our friend either. Our first real act of being a lunatic is going to be to raid the capital of Alba, which is a little bit risky because they outnumber us slightly. However, it seems like the right thing to do. Our wife has become pregnant. Wonderful news. Bjorn is a lunatic, and he's slow. Not necessarily going to be the best friend, but maybe he will be our friend. 100% chance of befriending Bjorn, the lunatic. I think what we're going to do is just befriend as many lunatics as possible. Wasn't the initial plan, but it is absolutely what we're doing. We've taken a prisoner in the siege. We'll take a look at that while we're choosing our next siege target. So we've captured this woman who is ultimately unimportant. We'll just demand that she convert to our religion and release her. We've gotten another fire and blood result. Garthur the lunatic demands plunder. You know, he raids so quickly that it might even be worth it to just raid these tiny little territories. You know, can we fill our entire court with lunatics? I think that's what we're going to do. There's always a chance that someone can be a lunatic and a witch, so I don't mind. But we're almost at our capacity, so one more good raid will give us a good enough excuse to go home and regroup. We've had a son. He did not inherit any of his mother's positive traits. However, it does give us an opportunity to pursue our superstitious naming scheme, so let's do that. And we will name our son after a German priest, Johann Albrecht. Johann Albrecht was executed after claiming to be a prophet in 1636. It's kind of an interesting story. Apparently, in his youth, he was wandering in the forest and he met a strange man who promised him divine power or mystical power if he were to become a monk. Johann Albrecht did become a monk, and during that time, he claimed there were hidden wizard covens within the Brotherhood, and that he would meet mages in the woods and meet with demons to feast and have sex. Sounds pretty witchy to me. Johann Albrecht, may you grow to be strong and wise, you little witch. And the lunatic chieftain Garthur has achieved another fire and blood result, demanding yet more plunder. We've had another daughter. She is the daughter of our concubine Ingeborg, and she has inherited the quick trait. This daughter we will name after yet another famous witch who was executed for witchcraft. Bridget Bishop was an English woman who emigrated to America, and then in 1692 she became the first person to be tried and executed during the Salem witch trials. May you grow to be strong and wise, you lovely little witch. In our scheme to befriend Bjorn the lunatic, an option has presented itself. Bjorn the slow lunatic, torturer. One of the options that's come up is to release this prisoner here to gain his favor. This will speed up the befriend scheme a little bit, and we had nothing really to do with this kid anyway, with his little top knot. So, sure, Bjorn, you can have this kid. I don't know what you're going to do with him, but he's all yours. You know, one lunatic to another, whatever you want, man. So now that we have enough gold, and we have nothing pressing to do with it other than throw down some more buildings, we're going to create our first title, and we're going to create the Duchy of Iceland. We are now a mighty Jarl. We've traded in our war hat for a circlet. We've made our first friend, the honorable maniac Bjorn, who is a slow lunatic torturer. Absolutely love this guy. Let's invite him to our court. Welcome to our court, Bjorn, our friend. I doubt he's a witch, but I'm happy to have a friend. So let's make our next friend Sturla the lunatic. We've unlocked the next perk in our diplomacy lifestyle. We're going to grab confidence. And I think once we get the flatterer trait, we are going to switch into the learning lifestyle. So one more diplomacy perk, and then we're switching to learning. Our armies are raised. We will take control of it ourselves, and we will convert to raiders and get back out there. We can take another stab at Alba here. There's still plenty of territory, and we do want to impact them as much as possible. So let's go raid Alba. Dornock, let me introduce you to Jarl Garthur the Lunatic. I wish I could add that title to his name. We are not necessarily collecting the best minds in the world. We have achieved another Fire and Blood result, raiding against Alba. More plunder for the lunatic Jarl Garthur. This man is a terrifying raider. Wow. This feels really good. We're just tearing through the countryside of Alba and collecting massive amounts of plunder and prestige. Our concubine, Linda, is pregnant now. We have the chance of having a comely son. That would be wonderful. Okay. We really do need to switch into the learning lifestyle. I feel like we're going to need to embrace celibacy. It just gets better and better. This is 2 in a row. You know what, we'll just take this small territory in the hopes that it gives us another Fire and Blood result. All right, meanwhile, we can put another building down. Let's head over to Reykjavik and see what they need. I think we're going to build markets in Reykjavik. 3 in a row. Wow, we're just raiding the hell out of this kingdom. What an incredible raider Jarl Garthur the Lunatic is. This is getting a little silly. This is our 4th Fire and Blood result in a row against Alba. They must hate us right now. All right, we broke the streak. We've had another daughter. I guess that's good news. These are more potential alliances. We can really increase our dynasty, our renown, by getting them matrilineal marriages. We'll name our next daughter Emmeline after a Scottish woman who was executed for witchcraft in 1616. She was strangled and burned to death, which seems like a little bit of overkill, but Eveline lives on as our daughter. May you grow to be strong and wise, you future witch. We have an impressive amount of children now, and we have to start marrying them off and educating them as soon as we're done with this raid. After we finish tearing every bit of plunder we can get out of Alba, we will deal with sorting out our house. Looks good. We have thoroughly raided Alba. Our wife is pregnant again. Wow, this lunatic really knows how to get down. While out leading a raid, he's impregnating his wives and concubines. This was inevitable. The lunatic Jarl Garthur has earned the title of Viking. For years, we have swept out on devastating raids, bringing the full fury of Odin to a trembling world. For surely if he disapproved, he would have struck me down by now. Instead, my household sleeps surrounded by the stolen fineries of foreign rulers, and exotic slaves warm my bed. Truly, noble and peasant alike quail at my approach, and parents silence crying children with the threat that I'll visit. Yes, let them weep at our name. And good news, we've befriended Sturla, the lunatic, the insane craven. He will not, unfortunately, accept an offer to join our court. But it's nice to know that we have friends out there that are also lunatics. So Jarl Garthur the Lunatic has earned the trait Viking, which is a bonus to martial, to prowess, which was already pretty significant, and a bonus prestige every month for the rest of his life. That is really nice, and obviously other Vikings will like us a little bit more. With that, we're going to take a quick break, and we will return shortly with the continuing adventures of Jarl Garthur, the lunatic pilgrim Viking of Iceland, in his quest to secure the secrets of witchcraft. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for hanging out. I'd love to see your thoughts on the game thus far in the comments. Also, feel free to correct any of my pronunciations, because I'm sure that they're absolutely terrible. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll be back soon.